Hey guys, just wanted to talk through a few ways that you can connect to the internet and connect to the internet securely, so you'll know that no one's snooping on your browsing, and the only person that can see what you're doing is you. So first of all, I would recommend using HTTPS Everywhere, which is a browser extension that essentially redirects you to the secure HTTPS version of any website you visit. So you won't have to worry about not noticing that you're not on the secure version of a website. It'll just take you there automatically, and your connection will be encrypted. So anything you enter into a form on that site, like payment information or a password, no one can snoop on your internet connection and view what you're typing in. And then second of all, I just recommend avoiding public Wi-Fi networks if possible, just because many of them don't use any encryption at all, so some random person that's also connected to that network can see what you're doing, and that creates obvious security vulnerabilities. So just avoid public networks. If that means not using the network at the coffee shop you go to, instead connect to your phone's hotspot or something else. Just try to avoid those. And then third, I'd recommend just being cautious when you're installing browser extensions. I think Google and Mozilla have done a good job of cleaning up their app stores probably over the past year, and keeping any malicious plugins or add-ons out of their stores. Just kind of be cautious of the permissions that the add-ons you have installed request, because basically they could monitor all your browsing behavior and use that however they please. So just be careful when installing browser extensions. And then I'd recommend using a private search engine, whether it's DuckDuckGo, StartPage, or GhostPeak.com. There's a bunch of private search engines out there, but those three are some of my favorites. They don't track your search history, and in most cases, private search engines will use pretty high-level encryption from end to end, hopefully, so that your search terms are never transmitted in plain text. They're always private, and then some will actually keep your search history private in your browser, so you won't have to clear your browsing histories to hide your past searches. And then next up, limit the cookies that you allow in your browser. So cookies are just little files that a website will drop into your browser to identify you when you come back. So say you've added items to your cart on Amazon or something, and you leave Amazon and come back. Amazon will use cookies to keep you logged in and to keep items in your cart, and for other purposes too. Then I'd recommend using a privacy-friendly browser. There's a bunch out there, but the big one is Mozilla Firefox. It's really established itself as a private browser in the past year. It's added a bunch of features like ad blockers and tracker blockers. So that's a good browser to use if you want to avoid using Google Chrome. And then next, I'd recommend using a VPN or proxy, and you can use these if you're on a public Wi-Fi network and don't want people to be able to see what you're doing as easily. A VPN specifically will oftentimes encrypt your connection, so everything you do will be sent through an encrypted tunnel, basically, so that nobody can view that except you. Next and finally, I'd recommend using either a private email provider or just an anonymous email account. So a private email provider is one that integrates like high-level encryption onto all your messages, so that you won't have to worry about anybody hacking into your emails or just being able to view them because they don't have very good security. And then an anonymous email account is just an email account that you use that's separate from all your other accounts, that doesn't have your name or any other identifiable information in your profile, so that if you send someone an email, you're not revealing your name and location and all that other stuff. So just to recap, HTTPS everywhere. Don't use public Wi-Fi networks if possible. Avoid sketchy browser add-ons or extensions. Use a private search engine. Minimize the cookies you have in your browser. Use a privacy-focused browser if possible. Use a VPN or proxy, and use an anonymous email account. Good luck.